Hey there, my name's Steve Spence. I am sitting here at my daughter's swim meet. And if anybody's ever been to a swim meet, you know that you get to watch your kid swim for 5, 10 minutes tops, depending if she's swimming a 400 or not, for 4 hours. So I figured this would be a great time to build out some training modules. We have 3 trainings on deck, and we recognize that as contractors, you're very busy. So you can watch this basic training, which is the one I'm covering here in this video, and it'll take you probably 30 minutes as opposed to being on a live demo training with your customer success manager, Project Map It. We will do either, but here we go. So welcome to Project Map It. We have 3 trainings, like I said. There's a basic training that covers, well, the basics. There's a training that we can do for your sales team. You can either share this training like I'm doing now on the sales side with your sales team. And then we have another training for a review platform. We always like to cover our partners. We have a lot of good partners. These are the top 5 that we promote a lot. Engage, the deck that I'm presenting on with this training is an Engage deck. You can click on anything. There are these little pulsating bubbles. I don't know if you can see it, but if I click on it, it's going to open up to that. I can go back to the slide. Engage is a digital presentation platform. It says it here. They are one of our longest partners. Project Map It embeds right into an Engage slide. So imagine Engage as like a PowerPoint on steroids with analytics that your sales manager or the owner can see how long they're on each page and stuff like that. Sales Transformation Group, they're good people. They're a coaching organization. They will do a free 1-hour consultation with you. It can be with you, the CEO. It can be with your sales team. It can be any kind of training that you want, but they will consult on a screen share for an hour for free. Sorry to pause there. I got booted they were doing a tour of the Naval Academy Swim Center where I'm at. So the lady was like, "You got to go." So Demand IQ is a widget that lives on your website where you can put in the parameters and they can, get the measurements of their roof, of their fence, whatever the perimeter of your house. So we work with landscaping companies and decking companies. And the cool thing about Demand IQ is we are integrated. So you can put Project Map It's map inside that widget. So a homeowner comes on, they're like, "Oh, how much is a roof going to cost?" And they start going through the measurement of the roof and all that. It'll give an estimate, and you can say, "Oh, by the way, this is why you should choose us." And Project Map It can live inside this instant estimator. It's the only instant estimator right now that we're actually integrated with. There are some parameters there. So you need to have 500 to 1,000 site visits a month. They're looking to put a widget on websites that are getting about 7 to 10 leads per month from your website. It will help close 2 to 3 times more appointments and a higher close rate. Upgrade's a finance company that we work with. They have pre-screening, so you can actually determine whether or not a homeowner would qualify for financing before you even go into the house and provide that free estimate. And then Leap is another company of ours that we're integrated with. So you can basically be in your Leap CRM and push projects right from Leap into Project Map It. There's a little button that says sync with Project Map It. You click it and you tell it what it is. It's a certainty landmark, weatherwood roof, and it pushes over there. So if you use Leap, that's pretty cool. If you take pictures within Project Map It's platform, you can actually pull those Project Map It photos into Leap as well. So those are our partners. So the first thing we're going to cover is the knowledge base and our chat support. So I'm going to go over to our map here, and this is when you log in. This is what it looks like. We call this our dashboard. If you click on online support videos, it's going to take you to a knowledge base that literally has everything, and it's all short videos. Super easy. So like what we're covering right now is probably step 2. If you want to brand your map, we probably branded it for you, maybe not. Maybe you want to brand it. If you click in any of these squares, it kind of puts it in order of what you should do first. All these red links take you to, how to do something. So how to add my logo, and there's a video on how to add the logo. Come up to Help Center, and it brings you back to the home page. So this is in order. So first thing, brand your map. Second thing, add pins, photos, and sync your Google reviews. Third thing, learn about our review platform. We have a reviews landing. We have a public profile page, which is just an added page that is seen online that Google crawls. So it's like on top of you have your website, you have your Better Business Bureau, your Angie pages and all that. We have our own public profile page, which is pretty cool. It's highly enriched with metadata. If you have an office administrator and you want them to help manage your portfolio, you can click on that and literally just copy and paste that URL, email it to your office administrator and say, "Watch these 4 videos," and they'll know how to add photos, how to add new pins. So it's a very robust. Oh, the last thing I did want to show you is the sales. So if you scroll a little more, your sales team, if you use iPads and some sort of presentation, it literally shows you like in 45 minutes, you could send this URL to your sales team and say, hey, I want you to watch these 6 videos. In under 45 minutes, their map is added to their iPad, their tablet, their laptop. They know how to navigate the map, and they know how some pointers that we give on how to use it in a sales presentation when you're at the homeowner's house. Okay. The other thing is the chat support. So there's this little bubble down here, and you can go in here and write a message. It'll prompt you what it is. If we at Project Map It don't respond, you can leave your email and your phone number. Your customer success manager will see that, and they'll reach out to you pretty quickly. So there is a little chat bot there that can also be accessed for your support. So best practices on managing Project Map It. Here's the two things that we always say. If you learn how to update your map regularly, and that could be every 3 months, we always say at the very beginning, try to get a lot of pictures on there. We'll help you with that. Try to get your reviews connected, put a lot of pins on there. A lot of people sometimes will update their map, right? So we just onboarded a company, for example. They paid $25 an hour. We did 700 photos in like 30 hours, 36 hours it took. So they already have a map for 700 photos. They have 200 plus reviews, and they've got like 3,000 pins or something like that. So right there, they probably never have to update their map again, and it could be a sales tool for life. Some people do that. But if you're able to update your map on the regular, maybe you're connected to one of our integrations with like ABC or SRS, or you've worked with your customer success manager, you can give us a spreadsheet once a month and we'll upload it for you and stuff like that. We offer virtual management for $50 an hour. We will upload photos for you. If you give us access to those photos, we'll update pins for you. So there are ways that we can help you manage your map. We have the integration with Company Cam for photos. The second thing that we always tell people that will always stay with Project Map It, if you know how to manage your portfolio, number one. And the second thing is putting it in your sales process. If you put it in your sales process, no, you will never leave Project Map It. You will see the power of how Project Map It helps you in sales. So that's this part here. So the first thing we always like to cover is how to just simply navigate and understanding the basics of the map itself. These are clusters. We can get rid of these little clusters. It's in the map settings. Ask your customer success manager, and we'll help you with that. So if you wanted to show more individual pins on your map, you could do that. Well, I'll just show you because it's a big one. So go to map settings, go here how your map will work, and just increase this number. The bigger the number, the more pins you're going to see. So let's just increase to 30. Scroll to the bottom, click update, and you're going to see here that the map is going to change to show more individual pins. So it's kind of a nice look there. This 158 is just a cluster. When you click on it, it dives down. That a lot of times will help close a deal. There's a refresh map button right above the logo here in the top right. It puts the map back to its original state. That's important to know. This is a gallery view. By default, we have 3 pictures shown, right? Now, if you wanted to add more default pictures, so in other words, if these pictures weren't here, it would just be blank white space. It wouldn't look good. So to add a project as a default picture, go to projects, find a project with photos on it, click in the red gear wheel, and on this project details page, a little ways down, you're going to click featured photo and then click update. That's how you can get your featured photos on here. Okay. Let's talk about the buttons real quick. Reviews, it's kind of like a 2-step process. The first time you click on it, it's going to showcase all of the reviews. It can show up to 250 reviews at a time. So if you have more than 250 at the bottom, there would be like a page 2. A lot of people always want to scroll to the top and click the red X button. Sorry. You don't have to do that. Just click anywhere outside the window and it'll go away. Remember I said it was 2 parts. The other part is once you click off of that scrolling image of all of your reviews, it's going to be right here. Okay. So these are only projects with reviews. A yellow star means there's a Project Map It review on it, right? Click off the window. Obviously a G is a Google review. We're about to rebuild our Facebook, so there's going to be a Facebook badge as well soon. So I'll refresh the map. Media, when you click on it, the map's going to interactively change to only show projects with photos that you uploaded. This actually had a old YouTube video, I can tell, because it says press to play. I could have picked another one. There you go. Refresh map, that's what that media button does. Search by location. This is where the sales reps will be smart, right? Like right now I'm sitting somewhere in Maryland, just above Annapolis. If I click the red button here, it's going to geolocate and it'll center where I'm sitting at the kitchen table if you're a sales rep. So if I click on that, like literally this is my house right here, right? So you can zoom out a little bit. You can start to see, it looks blurry, but it's just because it's that part of the map that makes it blurry. So there you go. So center it. Also in search by location, you can type all sorts of things. I could type Baltimore, Maryland, and it'll pop up. So you can type a city and it'll show Baltimore, and then they can zoom out a little bit. Notice the pictures change as I zoom in on the right-hand side. See how the pictures are changing? It's because these are all the pictures within this view. I can type anything. I can type an actual address. So you can type anything you want. We use Google Maps. So if you can find it on Google Maps, you can find it in the Naval Academy. Naval Academy. There it is. So then it puts me right in the center. So just understand when you do an address, it's going to center locate you on the map. Services, this is the bread and butter. Right now we have what's called collapsible windows. You have to click the button here to open it up. If you have a ton of categories, that's what you're going to want to do. To do that, go to map settings, go to how your map will work. And down here, this is your filter button that I was just talking about. So there's things you can do. I'm going to deselect the filter option. I'm going to keep the collapsible filter option. I'm going to keep the search bar. So just so you understand, I could be up here and search, weathered wood roof, and there's a landmark and an IKO. So you can search, and notice the collapsible button is no longer there. Let's see. So if I click Moray Black, it's going to show the map with only Moray Black. You have to close this to kind of see the whole map. So open, close, open, close. So here you can put a YouTube video on there. You can add as many photos. So if you think about the YouTube video, essentially you just go to YouTube. So here's a YouTube video. You copy the URL, and then I'll show you where to paste it. So think about YouTube videos, maybe adding like a video testimonial from homeowners. To add a YouTube video, you go into a project. You go into project images and click add new video, and that's where you paste the YouTube video. Do I want to publish it? Yeah, I want to publish it. Yes. So then there's the YouTube video, and you can slide it first. So that's how the map itself works. I hope that's an important piece just to kind of get an understanding. Oh, click here to contact us. You can make this go to a phone number. You can make it go to a web address. So a lot of people will put it towards their contact us page. So this is your call to action button. It's on every pin as well. So here it is on this pin. So just to keep that in mind, where you add that is you go to map settings, and it's right here, consultation link. So you say whether it's a phone number, an email address, or a website address, and then this is the words that would show on the button itself, the call to action button, and then here's where you put your phone number, an email address, or in this case, a web address. Let's first just talk about pins. So it depends how much volume you're doing a month. Maybe you're a decking company and you do 300 projects a month. That's a lot. Maybe you're an interior remodeling and you do 2 projects a month. It's not a lot. We want to make sure that when it comes to pins, you know how to quickly get pins on your map. So let's just talk how to manually add a pin. Over here on the dashboard, you have projects, and underneath projects, you had to add a project. So I can click on this, and it'll take you to this brand new blank project screen, right? Or you can click on projects. This is where it houses all of your projects, and you can click the blue button that says add a new project. So there are 2 places that you can add a new project. It's going to take you to this screen. So you can come in here and type in, I'll just use my name, Steve Spence. I live at 9 Cloister Road. I don't know. Let's just pick something, right? And when you fill that out, notice it brings up a list. When you click on it, it automatically will upload here, the address. This is where you can write a project description. If you wanted to hyperlink anything, it's like a Word document. You can, highlight the word and click on this and put the URL there, www dot, and click save, and now it's a hyperlink. So this is if you wanted to, you could write a job description. We always recommend writing backlinks to your website or something like that. You definitely want to categorize it. So this is where you would say, and I like to recommend doing both. So it's a Certainty landmark roof and it was a colonial slate color. So in other words, click the top level category, the bold, and click the subcategory. So if I just scroll down a little more and say, it was remodeling and I did bathrooms, you can pick more than one service. So if I did a bathroom, I painted the house, I did a tub to shower conversion, I'm going to pick the bold as well. You can do as many as you want. The featured project is a photo that you can do on your main map. So I'll show you what that is in a second. You need to have a picture in order for it to be a featured project. If you read here, it'll tell you. This you're probably not going to do anything with. You can put the email if you're using our system to request reviews. You can put a phone number if you want to store all that. Some people don't have a CRM, so we're not a CRM at all, but some people use our platform as like a brand new company to start storing all their data before they have the funds, the capital to spend some good money on a CRM. So if you're using us to store data, like all of your photos, your customers' information, like phone numbers and email addresses, by all means you can do that. But when you add a project, you need to have at least the name and the address. That's the bare minimum. You can scroll to the bottom and click Create Project. And that, again, we recommend name, address, and categories. We recommend name, address, categories, and the email if you're using our system to request a review. Okay? So now when I'm in projects, you'll see Steve Spence, 229 Cloister Road. That's the latest project. So the newest project always populates to the top. You can click on 100 and it can show 100. If I wanted to do some bulk stuff, I can select multiple things and say send the email request. We have 3 emails that go out. That's the review platform training. You can delete projects. So if I want to delete all 100 projects, I can go here and click delete. So we have some bulk actions. Over here next to the project, you have these 4 red dots. This one opens up the project details. It's got 3 tabs, so every new project has 3 tabs. This is where you would upload your photos. This is where you would post your Google business profile if you wanted to. Okay. The next button is if you want to delete a project. I can click that. It's going to prompt you, do you want to delete it? The next one is where this is the button that you would use if you wanted to send the 3 emails. Again, that's a different training. This star, really, it's only when you send the email. So here, I'll just use my email address. I don't know if it'll accept it because I've put my email address in here a few times. So let's see. Okay, it did. So if I refresh this page, well, it's probably going to take a second, but this will turn red. And when it turns red, it just means that you've sent the review request. So that's all this is. You can export and import spreadsheets. We always recommend letting us import the spreadsheets or at least training you how to do it. Exporting, you can always export a spreadsheet of all your customer base that's in Project Map It. So that's pins. If you go. Okay, photos. Let's talk about photos. First of all, there is a select filter thing here that you can select all sorts of things. I selected the one that says, just show me the ones with photos. And here it tells you which ones are published and how many photos there are. So I found one down here. Like here, there are 10 projects with photos, 73 total, 10 that are published to the pin, 73 total photos. So if you're using our system to document all before, during, and after during your project, and you want to store all your photos in there, and we are your photo documentation housing system, you can do it this way. So if I click in the gear wheel and click project images, you're going to see it's going to take a second to populate all 73, but you're going to have all 73 projects with photos, right? Let me do that again. There they are. The ones that are outside this dotted box at the very bottom, these are the 10 published ones. These are all of them. So it just depends how you're using our system. If you are using our system, there's that video too. I'll delete that one. If you're using our system, our mobile app, and people in the field are taking, like I said, all photos of the job so that you document the entire job, then you can store it this way. And then when you want to publish a photo, you just click here, you go, I want to publish this one, I want to publish this one, and just type publish images. Once the images are published, down at the bottom, the ones that are published on the pin itself are in this dotted box. Here you can start arranging pictures. So to tell the story better, you can move pictures around. If I don't want a picture in here anymore, you literally just take it and drag it out. So this would be an example, and I'd be honest, to be fully transparent, like 3% of our customers actually use us as a documentation photo system. They're really just uploading their best pictures and using it as a portfolio. So let's just start from scratch, and let's go into here, and let's just say, sorry, go to project images, just to start over here from the beginning. I have no photos. You click add new photos. You can drag or drop the photos in here. So if you have multiple screens, like some of the administrators in your office probably do, they can drag pictures from one screen right into this dotted box. I don't at the moment, so I'm just going to click on that. I'm going to go there. What's that? Limitless Roofing Group, new partner of ours. So I'm going to just pick 3 photos, and they're going to bring them in here. At this point, you need to decide: are these photos that you're literally just publishing to Project Map its pin, to the pin on the map? If so, you want to click this. Do you want to publish these photos? Okay. And if you do that, as it takes a second, the green box down here will say photos are resizing. So right now our system's resizing them so they fit nicely in that thing. Let's go project images. There they are. So because I clicked that little checkbox that said published images, they're all published, right? Now let's start over again. Let's say I go to add the new photos, and when I add them, I don't click this checkbox. If you don't check it, they're not going to show up. We've had people that have not checked it, and they think the photos are published, and they are not. So at this point, this is where you can click the checkbox, or if it's only 3 photos, you can just drag them in here, if that's easier. And then once they're in there, you can rearrange them, okay? So that's how photos work. Again, if it's something that you want, if you click on project details, this tab, there's a red link. A lot of people want to just look and see what it looks like on the pin itself. You click on that project pin link and you can look at it. So now I've determined whether or not it looks good enough for me. So again, just to reiterate, you can drag and drop, you can select the boxes and click publish photos. This is where you can download the photos if I wanted to my computer, download images. It's going to say up here, they're downloading. There they all are now. Okay. What else? Adding a new video, we've covered that. You just paste the URL link for the YouTube video in there. Okay, now let's talk reviews. Reviews, there's a lot. In this basic training, we're just going to cover how to match your reviews to Project Map It and how to bring in your Google reviews. To bring in your Google reviews, you're going to click on the Integration Partners tab, click on Learn More. I'm already connected, but essentially you're going to have a blue button that says Connect. And when you do that, up here in the top, there's going to be a pop-up blocker more than likely. If you try to connect and it's not working and the windows aren't popping up, you need to come up here and say unblock pop-up blockers or disable pop-up blockers. So whatever browser you use, whether that's Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Safari, doesn't matter, Google Chrome, make sure that your pop-up blocker is disabled. You go through the prompts. There's another video on how to connect your Google reviews, but essentially when you connect successfully, it's going to bring some things down here. You have to check off which ones. So like if I wanted to bring in my reviews for Prevail Sports and my test PMI, I could click that and click Save Locations. So for companies that have multiple locations, 3, 4, 5, 10 locations, select the ones that you want to bring in the reviews and click Save Locations. At that point, you're done. Now, the way our system works is if the name in the system matches exactly the name on the Google review, then our system will automatically attach that review to that pin. So if in Project Map It I had Melvin Barnes, thank you for the review, by the way, Melvin, and Pat is great. But if the Google review had Melvin Barnes and in Project Map It, it said Melvin Barnes, not Barnes Melvin, not Mel Barnes, it has to be an exact match, then it will automatically attach the review. So you don't have to do anything. That's the only way we can make it automatic. Now, that means there's going to be 50, 60, 70% that don't automatically attach because, as you can see, sometimes it's not a name or the name isn't the full name. It's like Steve S. So with that said, you have to be able to manually match those reviews. And the way you do that is you go into reviews, you go into the box that says matching or adding. This is where you can see which reviews are added or not. You're going to want to go here to this box, this filter, and you want to say unassigned. Because what happens is, again, automatically our system will assign Google reviews that names match perfectly to the PMI name, but there are going to be a lot that aren't. So you click unassigned. This will bring up all the things that don't have reviews that are assigned to a pin. And then once you're there, at that point, you're just clicking here in the drop-down menu, and you're going to search Ricardo Sanchez. So like a lot of times we'll say search the last name first. Let's just say this is the right one. So I click on that and I bring it and drop it on there. And then I go to the next one and notice see how it's dropped there. Then I go to the next one, Herbert Roofing. Oh, I know Herbert Roofing's it too. You can type in anything. You can type in the person's name. You can type in, if you're doing the name, we always say, put in the last name. If you're not putting in the last name, it doesn't search as well. If you know that Herbert Roofing or Melvin or On Dog Music are at a certain address, you can type in the address. Okay, click on it. It shows up here and you drag it right on top. So you just keep going down the list and following, this thing and dropping them on. And then when you're done going through everything, you click save and it'll say reviews are added. It takes like 5 minutes to an hour. I can't remember. It takes a second to reload and to update this number, 128 to like 131 because I just matched 3. So again, it's just under reviews. Go to match reviews. Just go to the ones that say unassigned, and then again, you can see just Google, and it'll just bring up Google. So you can use these filters up here to help you kind of navigate through which ones haven't been assigned. Okay, what's next? Categories and adding team members. So let's talk about that. Categories, when we talk about categories, sometimes you'll hear your customer success manager say filters instead. We're talking about this. So all of your categories. And how do you organize them? If certainty landmarks the most important thing, let's move this to the top. Whereas at the very bottom, we're talking about before and after pictures. So what you're going to do is over here on the left-hand side, you're going to click categories. A lot of you sometimes have a ton of categories like this. The first thing I want you to understand is you're going to see 2 different ovals. You'll see an oval with an X to the right and an oval with a toggle button. The only time you're going to see a toggle button is if you connect it to ABC. A toggle button category represents the ABC category that was brought in. Okay, so ABC has toggle buttons, other ones don't. Okay, that's the first thing to understand that. The second thing I want you to understand is you can always add a new category. So if I click on certainty landmark, it's black. All of these down here are the subcategories. So sorry about that. So if I wanted to add a subcategory, let's just say, here, let me delete purple roof again and show you how to add that. Let's say certainty made a purple roof shingle all of a sudden. You select the top level, it turns black, come down here and just highlight it in there and type in the new category, purple roof, and hit enter, or you can type purple roof and just click outside anywhere in this white area to lock it in. If I wanted to add a top level category, I could click add category and come here and name it. We'll just say test. Okay, and then I'm going to lock it in. Now, that's the first thing, to be able to add categories. If I do that, you'll come up here to map. If I scroll to the very bottom, you're going to see there's that test. If I scroll to that certainty landmark, you'll see purple somewhere here. There it is, purple roof. So that's how you add a category manually. Okay. Next thing, you can organize them. Let's say that you wanted certainty monogram siding first because you're a siding company. Just drag and drop it up there. Once you're in certainty and you want to organize your colors or whatever their subcategories are, you can organize them in a way like maybe these are the most important colors and you want them populated to the top. So just by dragging and drop them, we'll put them in the order that you want. So certainty monogram, if I click on this, is now first. Okay. So those are the three things you can organize. You can rename just by clicking in here and renaming it, HVAC, whatever. So organize, rename, add a category, or delete a category. If I didn't want an ABC category to show, maybe I've only done, one Westlake Royal 900 tile, I can click the toggle on and off. And it turns gray. That means it's not going to show here. So that's how you turn off an ABC category, just by toggling it on and off. And to delete a category, I can just click the X button. That's a manual category, not an ABC category. And that is categories. Adding team members and sales. Add sales. Okay. I've done everything else. So all we got to do is talk about adding team members, and the basic training is over. So basic training, adding team members, click on team. You're going to click underneath add member right here. And then you just put in their name, you'd put in their email address. The permissions, guest, no one's going to be a guest. They're just looking at the map. Your people are going to be either editors, they can add projects, they can add photos, they can request reviews, they can do everything, but an admin has the right to change what our review platform looks like. An admin can delete a project, whereas an editor can't delete a project. So people in the field that aren't going to have a lot of power over it, you're going to do editor. Again, they can add a new pin, they can take pictures of that project, they can write a job description, categorize, they can request a review and all that. Administrators, they can actually update our review platform by going in and saying, this is what I want the email to look like. They can delete projects if they want, so they have a little more power. And that is it. We've already talked about the importance of putting in your sales process. We've already talked about our top partners. The next phase would be you just getting used to managing Project Map It, and then hopping on a sales training with us, making sure that your sales team understands how to leverage Project Map It. I will say, oh, look at that battery. Just a reminder, sales is down here on the knowledge base. You could probably, as an owner or administrator, look at these yourself and see if they will do justice. I think they will, and send this URL link to your sales team, and you're up and running. Thanks so much. Take care.